Do you think the Niners are going to get the number 1 seed? Just so you know, it comes down to them and Philly. They play at the same time. Philly's playing 4:25 Eastern against the Giants, who are not sitting their starters. And the Niners are playing against the Arizona Cardinals. Assuming the Niners win this game, I guess it comes down to what you think is going to happen in the other game. You think the Niners are going to get that number 1 seed?
I'm confident the Niners are going to win this game, and at this point, it's just all circling that game between the Eagles and the Giants. I'm going to have the tablet open up and be like, what's going on in this game? What's going on? Just to see if things are going to get interesting. I did that for the Packers-Vikings game last week. Yeah, man, I watched the Eagles against the Saints. I don't know if you caught any of that. I watched maybe almost a good half.
I saw part of it, yeah.
Kind of tuning in and out. But I'm just like, Gardner Minshew stinks. He's not that good. He had a nice sweet throw to AJ Brown, but overall it's like, really, you're at home. You're struggling.
You got a great team. You got all these players around you, and you're 10 points, huh? Okay.
But it's the same thing, like you said, weeks ago. And it's funny because a few weeks ago we're just like, number 1 seed, it's on the table, and I was like, yeah, I give them a chance. I'm pushing on it, and it's like, wow, they actually lost 2 in a row because it wasn't so much just because it's what the Eagles are going to do, but it's like, look at the opponents. They're playing the Saints. Maybe I was like, the Cowboys could have lost, but I don't see them losing to the Saints. But now all of a sudden the Giants, they're locked into their seed. They're not really playing for anything, but at that point it might be for momentum and for pride because the Eagles curb stomped them last time.
They've only won 2 games in the last couple months. The Giants. I mean,
I'd just be scared about Saquon for the Giants.
Yep, that's a good point. That's true. He's their entire offense, right? Look, I mean, here's the thing.
Anyone else other than him?
I think the Giants could win this game. Because Philly, to me, you just mentioned that Gardner Minshew isn't good. Yeah, that's true. And then their defense, I was looking at it. Everyone says they have a really good defense, but since they lost their first game to Washington and gave up 32 in that game, they've played 8 games, including that one, and they've given up 24.1 points per game in that stretch, which is terrible. So it looks like they're kind of collapsing. They peaked early, and
lost a lot of players, I think.
I mean. I'm not saying the Giants are good or great, but they could definitely win this game. And the Niners certainly could be the number 1 seed. And I think that would be huge. When they went to the Super Bowl in 2019, they had a bye. They were at home. They didn't travel at all. And I think, you want that. So it could happen. It's very real.
I think the Giants are good at this point. I think you got to give them credit to that.
They're well coached.
They're going to. And that's going to go to a future topic we're going to talk about a year later. But the fact that they came this, I really thought I was like, you know what? They started 5-0 or 5-2, whatever, something like that. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Plenty of ugly teams always do that. And then they collapse, and they didn't collapse. They've been hanging around with the best of them. It's crazy to see. So yeah, I definitely can see the Giants beating the Eagles. I feel like this is something where it's like everything's turning in the direction for the Eagles to lose. And it needs a lot to happen not for a lot to happen for the Giants, but I just feel like it's almost too good to be true. So I don't think the Niners are going to get the number 1 seed. I think they're going to get a number 2 seed because obviously all they need to do is beat the Cardinals to at least finish second and put them against the 7th seed. But the 1st seed, I just think, the Eagles, and they're at home too against the Giants. I know it's a division game, so a lot of things can happen. I just feel like it's almost a too good to be true moment. And I think the Niners aren't going to get it. I think the Eagles are barely going to escape from the Giants. They're going to be panicked, and it's going to be like an escape game where they barely win by a field goal or something like that.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. I just feel like with Gardner Minshew, anything's possible because there's something about him. He's a loser. He puts up good numbers, but man, he didn't win in college. He was on the Jaguars losing a lot, and it's a guy who just seems accustomed to losing. That's what he does. So
okay, here's the reason why I would think, and the same reason that you said why the Niners would get it and the Eagles would lose is also their running game is absent as hell. It's not there. It's non-existent. You called that even before he started. It's like, how's the running game going to fare? Miles Sanders benefited a lot. We talked about it on the Pro Bowl show. Miles Sanders benefits tremendously because Jalen Hurts is that threat, and it opens it all up. Kind of the same way Debo was his first game and a half with Trey Lance, and now all of a sudden he hasn't been able to hit it as well. Mm-hmm. So, it's not like it's shocking. So that they've lost that element, and now it's pretty much just Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, AJ Brown. Let's go out there with Gardner Minshew, and he's not executing and playing anywhere near close to that as well. And then the defense, defense has been playing bad, but it's like they're not consistent anymore, I think.
Yeah. So the defense is falling apart. The run game's non-existent. It's a one-dimensional offense led by Gardner Minshew. What could go wrong? The Niners definitely have a shot here. It's just too bad. I think, well, it's not too bad. I'm sure the NFL did it on purpose, but I was expecting the Giants would and the Eagles would play before the Niners, so the Niners could watch the game, and if the Giants won, they could sit all their players. But it's not going down like that. It's not going down like that.